In today's overflooded game market, it's difficult for a new game to stand out. But, nonetheless, there are always those few games that defy those odds. These popular games have a property that sets them apart from the others. Sometimes that property is just that the game was first to make an idea real. The appeal of a new game comes from its ability to grab people's attention as being a new experience. Basic game concepts are one quality that can make a game boring. Several genres of games are used a lot, such as platformers and first-person shooters. It's difficult to stand out in categories such as these. Sometimes it is best for developers to make a game in a subject area that has less competition, such as a mix of existing concepts or something entirely new. Often the best games of an era are the games that started something new. One great example of a game starting something new is the game Baba Is You by Arvi Teikari. It was released in March of 2019, becoming an instant classic in the hearts of the players. In the game, the player controls the aspects of the game by moving blocks around to reprogram each level to get to the door. The tiles allow for a massive amount of combinations, ranging anywhere from the set Baba Has Key to Wall is Win. This game is an extremely creative take on the traditional puzzle game. I have no doubt that this game will start a whole new set of game ideas. There is something beyond a game concept that catches people's attention in a game. This is the hook, or the base idea that describes a game. A hook is the selling point of a game, such as the rage-inducing act of climbing a cauldron and getting over it. At the base level, the hook can describe a basic game concept in just a few words. The hook in the game Monument Valley, released in April of 2014, is the ability to move according to impossible geometry. The game creates an amazing and mind-boggling puzzle experience that is easy to enjoy, but hard to solve. In this game, an impossible triangle is as real as a cube. Likewise, in Baba Is You, the hook is that the player can control the rules of the game. The hook is not restricted to just a gameplay concept. The art and atmosphere can also hold the draw of the game. Many times games seem interesting because of their excellent art style or amazing environments or level design. A game such as Hollow Knight by Team Cherry uses its spectacular level art and layers to create amazing depth in the world. Each layer moves at a different speed, creating a 3D parallax effect. Such a combination allows the player to really feel nestled inside the world. The story of a game can be equally as important as the art. Stories can hold the appeal for a game as the player is intrigued and wants to see how the story will turn out. Good gameplay and music can and should supplement the story, but there is no doubt the basis of the game is to convey a story. Every so often a game catches my eye that has a compelling story, even if that story is conveyed through just the environment and bits of dialogue. These games draw me in, and are often the games that I am most invested in. An example of a game with an intriguing story is the AAA game Horizon Zero Dawn. The story has the interesting premise of being in a natural world with mechanical beasts, with a certain level of mystery around the main character. As the story progresses, more aspects are revealed until in the end the player finally sees the full picture. The story is so interesting that I would play until I knew everything about the lore and story. I don't want to spoil the story, as it is best experienced through the gameplay. An even more recent example of a story in a game is the game Neversong, created by the indie developer Thomas Brush, who creates videos about his games here on YouTube. This game has a style of beautifully crafted simplistic art pieces which are placed over many layers expanding out into the distance, similar to Hollow Knight. But in this game, the story is the prominent aspect, as is made clear in the trailer by the appearance of the game being inside a book. The narrator of the game reads sections of the story as if the game is a fairy tale. As a result, the game takes place in a magical world, explained by it being the thoughts of the coma of the main character, Pete. These stories add to the draw of the game simply because they are so compelling to the player. The more the player wants to see how the game will turn out, the more likely they will be to show interest in the game. Not all games need or even should have all these types of hooks. A game really should have one solid marketing point. It is better to focus on one aspect and make it the best of all the competition instead of trying to make all aspects of the game the best. Otherwise, all aspects of the game end up somewhat average. A hook is a difficult part of a game to come up with, and I can't tell you exactly how to find one that works for your game. But I can say what has worked for me in the past. In order to spark an idea before crafting any part of a game, I've tried several things. The first method I use is to go outside and try to experience something new with the intent to find an idea. New experiences make memories which can spark a new idea. Sometimes doing too much of the same thing can put a stopper on my ability to generate ideas. Another method I use is to run a game jam theme generator, which gives many different phrases constructed to have games built around them. These random phrases mean different things to each person, which means new ideas can be generated from the same phrases. Finally, sometimes thinking back on emotional memories or looking forward to something in the future can help me with an idea. This is especially true with a story-reliant game. Experiences that meant something to you emotionally are likely something that can resonate with an audience. I find this emotional reliance in stories to be a common theme between stories and games. The game Firewatch has a storyline that tugs on your emotions throughout the whole playtime. Firewatch is about a man at a firewatching station whose only contact with the outside world is his one walkie-talkie. He comes to the station because of a tragedy that happens in his life. It's amazing what story and emotional experiences can be created without ever seeing the person you talk to. Another example of this is in the Don't Starve Together character update of Wehle by Klei Entertainment. Wehle is revealed to be caring for his grandmother who has Alzheimer's. The Klei team later said that they decided on this because it was a topic that resonated with much of the team since they had people in their life that suffered from Alzheimer's. This backstory started as the team's emotional experience, but expanded to resonate with the player base. To find the hook of a partially constructed game, a developer must take a look at what makes their game unique. They must find which of the concepts describes their game, and only their game. Only when the hook is found can the developer truly describe the game. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. This video took a lot of time and work to produce, so it would mean a lot if you could hit the like button if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching this far through, and see you next time.